duty. Advanced warfare isn't just entertainment, it's a warning. A vision of how private militaries, advanced weaponry and corporate power could shape the wars of tomorrow. As fiction creeps closer to reality, we must ask, is this really science fiction anymore?
Everybody thinks their ideas are right. That's why the people you call terrorists call themselves freedom fighters. The fundamentalists think they're right, the capitalists think they're right, the communists think they're right. And no one will ever convince anyone of anything. And all these honorable men lecturing the world from the floors of congresses and parliaments whose time has long since passed, refuse to admit, publicly at least, ideas don't determine who's right. Power determines who's right.
Set in 2054, the world of advanced warfare is torn apart by a global terrorist attack. Nations are helpless. A private military corporation, Atlas, steps in.
I want to offer you a second chance.
Mr. Irons, Mitchell's been discharged with his injuries.
I'm aware of his injuries, Sergeant. At Atlas, we have prosthetics that are 20 years beyond anything the military could offer you. Will told me what kind of soldier you were. You deserve to fight for a military that's as effective as you are. Think about it. Don't let Will's death go in vain. Sergeant.
They have what governments lack: power, precision, and the most advanced soldiers the world has ever seen. Exoskeletons, drones, directed energy weapons. The battlefield is no longer human, it's enhanced.
The first CEO of a private corporation to become a member of the United Nations Security Council. Unfortunately, my appearance today has been clouded by a flurry of speculation that my company is developing a weapon of mass destruction which would be capable of targeting specific ethnic groups. I want to address these allegations head on. Are we developing such a weapon? No, we are not. Because we've already developed it. But with all due respect, the United Nations is a relic from a different time when nations were unique in their ability to solve the world's problems. But that just isn't the case anymore. Primarily because you have outsourced the job to me. I have sent people to die in your wars. So I feel uniquely qualified to tell you, your wars don't work. Which is why my priorities have changed from profits to policy. Because politicians don't know how to solve problems, but I do. So let's be clear. I am here to solve the world's problems. And I believe the world's problems begin with you.
Jonathan Irons, played by Kevin Spacey, is the visionary behind Atlas. He speaks like a savior, but acts like a dictator.
Why did I attack the United States? The United States has had the world in a constant state of war for over 100 years. Time and again, we have seen the catastrophic results of this belligerent, militaristic policy. These wars haven't led to resolution or peace. These wars have only led to more wars. The United States has set the agenda because they wielded the biggest stick. Well, no more. This is not the beginning of a war. This is the end of all wars.
Democracy, he says, democracy is not what these people need. It's not even what they want.
Democracy. Democracy isn't what these people need. Hell, it's not even what they want. America's been running around the globe trying to install democracies in nation after nation for a century, and it hasn't worked one time. Now, why do you think that is? Because these countries don't have the most basic building blocks necessary to support a democracy. Little things like we ought to be tolerant of those who disagree with us, or we ought to be tolerant of those who worship a different god than us, or that a journalist ought to be able to disagree with a fucking president. And you think you can walk into this country based on fundamentalist religious principles, drop a couple of bombs, topple a dictator, and start a democracy? Give me a break. People don't want freedom. They want rules, boundaries, protections. From invaders and from themselves. People need a leader who can both provide the constraints and the support to keep chaos at bay. And you give them that, and they'll follow. And that's where I come in.
These words are not just from a game villain. They're a reflection of what happens when unchecked power replaces accountability.
And I have the power. So I'm right.
In the real world, I'm already seeing echoes of advanced warfare. Exosuits are being tested by armies. Drone swarms can attack targets without a pilot. Boston Dynamics builds robots that run, jump, and carry weapons. DARPA funds technology that once seemed like science fiction. The line between man and machine is disappearing, just like in the game.
I like to get things done, so no. But look at what we've done in New Baghdad. 40 years ago, we pulled out of Iraq with that place in ruins and our tail between our legs. And now, it's a testament to what happens when you put efficiency before bureaucracy.
Advanced warfare doesn't just ask how war will be fought, it asks who will fight it. Will governments even matter? Or will war be outsourced to the highest bidder? In a world of corporate armies, digital battlegrounds and automated violence, I have to ask myself, is this just a game or a glimpse into the wars of tomorrow? Is this speculative fiction or a blueprint? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the future is already here. Is this the future?